Thank you so much for coming back to watch Big Z's Garage. This is going to be Big Z's Garage 2.0, the remake. We're following the program, or at least the structure that we originally created for Big Z's Garage, and that is visiting other people and seeing what kind of projects and things they do in their garages, their shops, their sheds, their barns, whatever, their hobby spaces. And so today we're going to go out and we're going to visit a friend called, his name is Travis. He's with Vigilante Guitars. And let's go see what he does in his garage. Hey Travis.
Hey Jeff, thanks for coming out today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So this is my buddy Travis. And we're excited to come over and take a look at some of the things that he does in his garage. This is looking great.
Thanks, Jim.
Got all your tools in a easy access layout.
We have a small space, so we have everything kind of mobile, so we can move tools around if we need to.
Right. What do you got over here?
Well, these are my. This is my template kind of area. This is where I keep all of the router templates that I use to make the guitars. So usually after I select the materials that I'm going to use, I'll use these templates to get the shapes and the part placement that I'm after.
So everything you're doing then when you're creating a new guitar is all by hand, first of all.
Yeah.
It's not like you have a router that's cutting this out for you and drilling your holes.
No computers.
No computers.
We're doing it the old school.
Old school. That's awesome.
So we have traditional style templates for bodies, and then we've got all the pickup parts, the necks.
Neck styles.
So it kind of all starts with the idea as far as what we want the end product to be, and then we kind of work backwards from there to engineer.
Well, that is really cool. So what got you started into doing guitars? I mean, there's a story behind that, I'm sure.
Right. Well, my earliest memory, I remember I just moved to a new place when I was 10, and my parents both worked, so it was my older sister and I came home one day. She was blasting music. I think she was doing dishes or something, and I was just like, I need to know more about what I'm hearing. So I asked my sister, and it turned out to be AC/DC's Back in Black.
Oh yeah, my favorite.
Yeah. So that summer, I kind of really got into like that kind of classic rock. So Van Halen, White Snake.
Yep.
Good
old rock and roll.
Yeah, just good old rock and roll. So that summer really sparked my interest in music.
I have to say then, you're a rocker at heart.
I'm a rocker, yeah. I tell most of my clients I'm a recovering metalhead. Because I do like lots of other music, but that's really where,
Have you seen Frog Leap Studios?
No, I have not seen that.
He'll take a modern pop music song and then he'll just totally metal it out. He says he's a guitarist, and he did one episode where he actually finally made a guitar. And he says it's different because I play it, I've never made one. So you're in a different position. You make them, but you also play them.
Right.
Now, did you do any kind of like special internship or apprenticeships or anything like that?
No, really, I got involved in the repair kind of out of necessity. I grew up in the Midwest in small towns where I didn't have access to lots of shops or anything like that. So kind of mostly trial by fire. I think it was the summer of my sophomore year in high school. You know how we do. We work all summer to buy a really, like my first really new, nice guitar. And it had some electronic issues with it. And I took it to the store that was closest to me. And it kind of turned into an ordeal. They kind of held the guitar captive for like probably 4 to 6 weeks. And then the repair wasn't, the estimate wasn't what the reality of what the final total was. So I figured, you know, my dad's a mechanic. I've got access to tools. I'm sure between he and I, we could figure something out.
Right.
So that's kind of what started down the wormhole.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it just kind of escalated from there. So
that's cool.
It turned into from electronics things to setting action to having to fix frets. And it just kind of, you know, like I said, it escalated. So every time I got a little more confident, somebody would bring me a guitar that was a little more broken than the last one.
Okay, now this is a guitar that you did right here?
This is a prototype that I built. This is actually my personal guitar. You know, I picked the materials. So for this one, I wanted to try a basswood body. It's got I put a lacquer, nitro cellulose lacquer finish on it. Eddie Van Halen, to me, was the guy. He kind of gave me permission to like take stuff apart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's got one pickup, kind of like his guitars. I did some, you know, interesting inlays on it, just
that is beautiful.
Just a showpiece. They're abalone, and they've got a metal ring.
Oh, that's cool.
Around them.
I love the name Vigilante.
Right. It's kind of started as a joke, like, you know, one guy, one garage, one guitar at a time. Kind of thing. So, you know, these are the kind of guitars I gravitate to. But, you know, depending on what the client wants, you know, whatever materials they like.
Right. Now, have you had any kind of notable clients that are kind of like people that most of us would know?
Well, last week Chris Isaac was in town, just down the street at the Mesa Art Center. So, I was fortunate enough to be able to work on, do some repairs on his guitars.
Oh, cool.
So once in a while, I'll get somebody that comes through town that you know needs some work, and I try to work by appointment. That leaves me open. So like if something like that comes up, I can really give them my full attention.
Right.
That goes for anyone. You know, I try not to overbook myself.
Sure.
Just so I can try to give them the best service and, you know, work with them to get what they need.
Oh, that's sweet. Take me through that process of how I would get you to create a custom guitar.
Well, a lot like you said, we would find out what you like, maybe play some guitars. I try to tailor what I do to what people want.
Right.
So we would talk about, you know, what guitar do you like? So you like that Les Paul. So we kind of, let's break that down. What did you like about it? Maybe it was the strings felt a little slinkier because a Les Paul, the strings are actually shorter. The scale length is shorter than like a Fender guitar or something, or maybe different than what you're playing. Maybe it was the size of the frets or the back shape. So we kind of dissect the whole thing and try to break it down into the smallest parts. To kind of figure what you liked and what we could tailor to fit you better. Once we had all those details down, we could make a drawing and then, you know, see what the guitar is going to look like full scale on paper, and then from there, after we have all the parts and wood and everything, and then we make some templates and we start making sawdust.
It's not just you saying, okay, what style do you want? All right, I'll make it. It's really going into the finish, the type of wood you're using, the strings, the length of the scale length, and stuff like that.
Yeah, we can go as deep as you want to go.
But you don't just, as you mentioned before, you don't just make guitars. You do repairs on them, restring them, and things like that as well.
Yeah, I do more of that than I do actual building, I think.
Oh, okay.
like I said, I've got most of my clients are local musicians, but I have worked with some national acts. You know, my thing is I want to help you be inspired. So if that means putting a new set of strings on for you, or you know, adjusting your guitar, installing new pickups, or building a guitar out of parts that you have laying around, to making one from scratch. Basically, I'll do whatever you need me to do.
Yeah. Now you showed me this special one here that you made for your daughter.
Right. So
I love the colors on that.
So this is kind of a variation maybe on the other guitar I showed you, but I had a friend actually that he had a piece of wood that he had acquired from a friend that was deceased, and he had some ideas for a guitar. So since he only had that one piece of lumber, I figured I would make a prototype to kind of work out any of the details. So I made this one for my oldest daughter, and so the design, mahogany back with the figured maple top. It's set neck, which means that we glued the neck into the body, which is one of a few ways to do it, and then we picked out the bridge that he was thinking about using, and pickups, and the layout and fret size and neck shape. So I kind of made this one as a prototype to show him before we cut his wood. So, and then
because you only had one chance at that
one
wood.
chance, right? And you never know with wood. You never know what's going to happen when you start working. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see that finished guitar. It looks a lot like this, but it's natural. It has he went with gold parts because they call it offset, so you can see how it's not symmetrical on this side. So they've kind of moved this half of the guitar. We moved it back.
It down. Everything else forward.
So like you can really get in there.
Get right in there
to do your shred licks.
That is just a beautiful guitar. I love this type of finish where it's just almost. Yeah. What do you call that? A mottled or?
This is a figured maple.
Figured. Okay.
This would be what they would describe as like flame, because it's got the long striations in it, and then we just put dye. It's dyed, and on this one I didn't paint it. This is actually gunstock oil.
Oh, really?
Because I figured since it was for my kid, it's gonna get beat up.
One other thing, I gotta hear you play. Gotta hear you rock out.
Okay. What would you? What are we gonna play today?
Well, we gotta keep it rock and roll. I mean, this is a garage show, right? To me, garage is rock and roll, and we gotta drown out your neighbor's gardener over there.
So we got clean. Or if you want to get crazy.
Oh, yes. Awesome.
You want to try?
Well, this is going to be night or day. This is basically all I know, and I'll probably screw it up because I get stage fright. Let's see.
Yeah.
And see, then I screw up then.
That was it.
But there's that part at the beginning where you kind of, it's almost, what do you call it, a string scratch or whatever. You gotta go up and then you get into that. But that feels good. I like the way that feels. And the other thing I like about this design, opposed to the design of my guitar, is that you can get way down here. Mine, if you look at mine, it's, I mean, you can't get. I mean, you literally have to take your hand up out if you wanted to get any of these frets down here. And that was the thing I liked about Les Paul design too, was
it's cut out.
It's cut out right there. You're able to get right into that. But this has been really cool.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Really cool. You bet. So if you're looking for a custom guitar repair, anything like that, if you're a band that's coming into Arizona and needs someone to go over your guitars and stuff like that, you definitely got to check out my friend Travis on Vigilante Guitars. Again, his links and everything are going to be below in our description so that you can find him. Go give him a like, share him on your Facebook media and stuff like that. And get to keep on rocking. You're doing what I'm doing, and you can tell we're in Arizona.
Yeah,
and
it's the hottest day.
Yeah, what's it supposed to be today?
It's not supposed to be that hot, but I think this humidity is what's killing us.
Yeah, which is unbelievable in Arizona. People wonder when they. Did you just put your finger in front of the camera? People wonder